Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. Y'all, I've been ducking and dodging the rain all day. It's raining the forecast every single day this week for like the next 7 days. And like I said in another video, it has held to its promise. It has rained, but every time I come outside, this is my 4th time outside, and every time I step foot outside, the sprinkles start to come. Hence my hair. I probably should put on a hat, but oh well, that's neither here nor there. But I managed to get something done. I didn't turn the camera on because I was trying to work fast again before the rain. And y'all, this is a different day. Like, this is my, I don't know, day 3 or 4 of me trying to shoot videos outside dodging this rain. So I'm going to turn you around and show you what I've already done, but I'm going to take you along with me as we harvest our last set of onions. So if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. And if you've been here before, it's my dog coming to say hello. Hey, Max. Wherever I am is where they are. The other dog just hasn't noticed or heard me out here otherwise. Okay, the wind's starting to pick up. Listen, if you see this video, you know that we made it through. You may not see this video because it may turn into a torrential downpour before I get done. But while it's windy and just a sprinkling, let me show you what we've done. I feel like I'm all out of sorts because, again, I'm dodging the rain. But as I was saying, if you're not new here, I still appreciate you coming in. Let me show you what I've done so far. I'm in the back of the house, if you can't tell. So in the back of my house, if you're new here, I have 5 raised beds. So in the back of my house, I have 5 raised beds. And this is where it all started. So I feel like sometimes I neglect this because the other spaces are much bigger and I'm in them way more frequently, especially on camera. But this is where it all started. So it has a special place in my heart because my garden journey started right back here behind my house, and it is still yet going on even though I have bigger spaces. So let me turn you around. The bed that I planted today. So I have 5 beds back here. I'm slowly but surely transitioning and putting summer crops back here. In these raised beds, I had my garlic and my onions. I had 3 beds of onions and 2 beds of garlic. We've harvested the majority of that. So this is what I did earlier today. These are cherry tomatoes. Let me see. I think they're large. No. It is Chadwick cherry. It's a new variety for me. That's what's on the right. In the middle, you have some basil. And then I also have sun gold on the left-hand side. And just in the back, I have a couple of celosia plants. Again, they may or may not make it. They've been in those pots for so long and overgrown. I'm just placing them in there, you know, as is. So I think I have about 12 plants in here. I just planted that today. Again, these have been in their pots. They should have been planted probably over a week or so ago, but we'll see if they bounce back. I went ahead and watered them in because, again, it's acting like it's gonna rain. It sprinkles and then the sun comes out full force, and then we're just in this cycle. So that's what that is. This bed here is yet to be planted. That's where the onions were, so I have to weed that bed, and then we're gonna plant something in there. And then over here is another bed. What's in this bed was onions. For half of it, we've already harvested those, and then leeks are in the other side of the bed. And we'll check the leeks and see if they're ready to be harvested. I wanted to give them another couple of weeks, and it has been a couple of weeks. Then when I turn you here, this is the bed we're about to tackle. Y'all, these weeds are out of control. But then let me take you over here to this bed. This is the bed that we planted together. It hasn't, this was last week. It hasn't done very much since then. And especially with the rain, I was thinking these plants would have been bigger, but not yet. But they're still there, so we won't complain. This is where we're gonna focus on today. You can see I already started pulling some red onions. They are definitely ready. Like, there's no mistake about it. So let me see if I can take you closer. They're practically sitting on top of the ground. I've already pulled probably 25% of them. So I'm gonna time lapse this and pull the rest of them while I can before it starts pouring down, raining, and we'll see what we have. My crate is full of red onions. I lost count, but it is at least, it's almost 60 if I'm not mistaken. It's in between 50 and 60 red onions. I'll turn you around and I'll take some of them out and show you the average size of these. Okay, yeah, it's raining. I mean, it's sprinkling. So we got it done though. Let me show you like the average size. Very decent. Very decent. These were definitely more uniform than the yellow tomatoes. I mean, pretty much all of them were around this size. There were some a little bit bigger and a few smaller, but on average, they're about this size, all of them. So, pretty pleased, as you can see. Very nice. And like I was saying before, I use a yellow onion probably every week. So that's what I prefer more of. I don't use red onions often. I'll put them in potato salad, salsa. But other than that, I don't really use them. Now, I know that some people have told me that you can just use them in place of yellow onions. I guess I don't use that very often. But y'all let me know what you use your red onions for. And like, do you really just use it in place? Oh, let me turn this way. It's like the, okay. So let me know if you guys use your red onions in place of like your yellow onions and like interchange them like regularly, not just because you're in a pinch. I would love to know, or let me know what else you use your red onions in. But basically, I don't use them a ton. Last year I had a ton of red onions. I probably had about 30 or 40. I gave some away, and then the rest I used fresh, and then I just chopped the rest of them and put them in the freezer. And I did just kind of use them in soups, stews, like just, substituting things like that. But I didn't have as many yellow onions last time. So anyway, and I love the taste of a red. Like, I like it on a burger. I like it on salad. Like those kinds of things, I prefer a red onion than obviously a yellow onion. But I guess I just named a few more things, right? Salsa, potato salad, burgers, salad. Well, that's at least 4, but let me know what else you use your red onions for. Let me take you over here and let us both see the leeks and see how they're doing and see if they're ready. I don't know if they are or not, but let's go take a look. These weeds are out of control. It is driving me insane. I told you before that if I have to weed, I'm probably not going to garden. And again, this is the only place that I have weeds. The only place. And the only thing I can think of is either there's something that I bought like in the straw that I used like a year ago that had some weed seeds in it, or when they cut the grass back here, something pops off in my raised beds, because I don't have it in my tunnel. And I used the same straw in my tunnel before, and I don't have weeds in there. And I don't have it in my in-ground space. Obviously, that one has landscape fabric on it, but don't get me started on these weeds. Okay, so here are the leeks. And they definitely are bigger, for sure. So you can kind of see. And sometimes the camera doesn't do it justice. I think I'm gonna let them get bigger. Plus, I don't really have time to deal with them right now. So we're gonna let the ground do its work. Yeah, I think I read that they're supposed to be like maybe an inch across. That's probably 3/4 of an inch across if I'm just eyeballing it. Look at my dogs, both of them. I told y'all wherever I am, that is where they are. So they just sit out here and hang out with me. And yes, the grass needs to be cut. My son is on the front side of the house cutting the grass now. Yes, he is cutting it in the rain because it's just sprinkling, and we're not getting off that mower until it becomes a downpour because, y'all, we just got to get it done. I should have put on my hat. Do you see that? Hair just waving up. Okay, because it got wet. Let me get it together. Okay, I was about to go in the sunroom. Then, of course, it stopped raining for a second. I was about to go in the sunroom and finish this video so that I wasn't like just, you know, letting it drip all over me. We got the red onions done, and we got one more bed planted today. I want to get the other bed planted that has the less weeds. Like, go ahead and pull those few weeds up. The other two is going to take some work. And my back already hurting from all of that pulling that I had to do. The red onions easily came out. They were literally, y'all, sitting on top of the ground. And of course the tops had fallen over. But I'm glad that I waited those 2 weeks because they definitely did get bigger. Because when I was pulling my yellow onions a couple of weeks ago, remember we looked at them and I said, I'm gonna give them a couple more weeks. So I'm glad that I did because that worked out well. I'm debating on whether or not I pull the weeds for this other bed and try to get it planted, is what I'm thinking. See if we can tackle that. Then we'll have 3 out of the 5 beds planted, which is a win. And if I can get all 5 planted by the end of the month, that'll make me happy. That'll be really, really good. And I think right on track. I need to look at my crop plan. And it doesn't really matter because I know what's going to go in these 5 beds. But I think in terms of like, if I would have said this bed was such and such versus this bed was something else, I probably have switched it around because I've been doing the beds that have been the most available and that had, you know, free of weeds and that was ready before another bed, if that makes sense. So I may just have to rewrite it on my plan. But I'm trying to remember. I know that one bed is going to be green beans, one bed is going to be cucumbers, but I can't remember what the 5th bed is going to be. I want to say it's peppers and tomatoes mixed, is what I think. I already have the cucumbers, but they're at the tunnel. So if I decide to plant cucumbers, and I think I might want to wait on the cucumbers because I'm going to have a trellis back here for the cucumbers. That requires my husband. We're already behind on trellis duty, right? I still need a cattle panel trellis, and that's like #1 priority out in the in-ground space is a cattle panel trellis for the tomatoes. Like, they are in bad shape. Bad shape. So I'm gonna wait until I have to plant the cucumbers because the cucumbers grow fast, and that'll just give me more time and give him time to do the cattle panel trellis. And then the trellis out here will be easy. We have posts. He just puts up the thing. It won't be nearly as difficult, and he can do it by himself versus me, him, and my son trying to do the cattle panel. So that means I would plant green beans. I already have green beans soaked, so I could do green beans. I could go ahead and do that. But I was trying to wait on the drip irrigation to be done out here. That's another thing, y'all, that y'all haven't been able to see, is that we got all the drip irrigation done, obviously in the in-ground space. You guys knew that. But my husband has been laying drip irrigation down in the tunnel. And so the rows that are in ground, not the raised beds, but the rows all have drip irrigation now in the tunnel. And he is working on drip irrigation for the raised beds in the tunnel. So y'all, we're making progress off camera. I wanted to do a video and let him show you how he's doing the drip irrigation and just do like a how-to video, but it hasn't worked out. He's been doing it, you know, when I've been out of town. He's been doing it when I've been doing other stuff or video and other stuff. So we just haven't had a chance to come together and do that. So maybe we will. All of the ones in the ground are done, but there's plenty of other videos out there that's on drip irrigation. You know, we can't do it all. We can't do it all. And you know, another thing, I feel like I'm rambling, but that's okay, because that's what happens sometimes. I'm trying to think about what's the next best thing for me to do. I'm trying to do the outside stuff while I quote unquote can before a downpour versus going inside the tunnel. I need to go and prune my tomatoes outside in the in-ground space. I think I'll do that instead of trying to plant out here. Plus, I got to grab the stuff from the tunnel. So let's just go ahead and end this here. Thank you, guys. It's been, I don't know, I feel like I'm all over the place because I'm watching this weather. I got 500 things on my mind. I'm trying to gauge, okay, do I have enough time to, because you know, you don't want to get started in something like all the way in and then the bottom falls out. So I've been piecemealing it all day. piecemealing all day. It's like as soon as I come outside, sprinkles. I go back inside. The sun is bright. I come back outside. It sprinkles. It's like this dance we've been doing, the rain dance, all day, all week. But if you are new here, I'm not usually this scattered. I don't think that I am. And usually things are a little bit more smooth. But y'all, this is real life. I grow food. So if you decide that you're going to grow food, then you're going to have some obstacles, some challenges, and you're going to have to compete with the weather, right? And the weather is usually going to win, right? It's going to tell you whether you're going to be outside all day or just for a few minutes. So I just want to say thank you for always being supportive. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. I do not take it for granted. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you like what you're seeing on my channel, you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Please send me a comment. Please like this video. Please share it. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.